Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
En Lowe's tenemos grandes inventarios disponibles en cientos de productos que los profesionales necesitan todos los días, como tejas, concreto, madera y más. Y ahora te los entregamos al día siguiente directamente en tu obra. Empieza hoy y ordena en línea o visita el mostrador para pros en tiendas. Disponible de lunes a sábado en artículos selectos en inventario solo en el área metropolitana de Charlotte, sujeto a disponibilidad. Para pedidos hechos antes de las 4 p.m. Más detalles en el mostrador para pros.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
KISW proudly presents Live Day 2021. We'll see you tomorrow. Snoqualmie Casino.
Yes.
BJ and Mix kicks the day off. Everything is live. Commercials, music, nothing is pre-recorded. You get to play a little Big Dummy. Get to play a little Beat Migs in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
If you can go to either one of the two sessions, by the way, there are a few select tickets available. Yeah. So if you can make it to the morning and go check out BJ and Migs, do so. If you can make it to the afternoon and drop in and see us, a live Big Dummy. Head chef will be in the house.
Oh, yeah.
The day together.
Yeah.
You can also maybe get a package, I'm not sure, to spend the entire day. I think you can buy one ticket for one and one ticket for the other, or a ticket for the whole day. All those details at KISW.com. It's great to be able to see you guys again. First thing we've done in probably a year and a half.
I know.
2 years, so hopefully you can stop by Snoqualmie Casino. We will see you tomorrow on Live Day. All the details are at KISW.com. All right, a question. What made the situation awkward or cringeworthy? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Tristan. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola!
Hola!
So I was going to meet this girl that I've been chatting with online, and she asked if she could bring a friend with her so that to feel comfortable. And when I went and met her, and the friend that she brought with her was a stripper I got a lap dance from the week before.
Oh. Did she recognize you?
She did not recognize me.
Thank God.
Well, that makes sense.
But about a week later, I got a message from the girl I was meeting, and she said that when I met with her friend said it looked like I recognized her.
Oh, so she could tell that you recognized her.
Yes.
And did you admit that you could recognize her?
I said she looked kind of familiar, but I wasn't sure where from.
All right. And did she buy that?
Yeah, for about a month until she was like, oh, hey, have you been to this strip club? Because that's where my friend works.
Of course.
But you weren't dating anybody. What does she care if you went to a strip club?
Well, it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was, a bit awkward when you're first meeting somebody and...
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Okay, yeah.
Where do I know you from?
I think most people have to assume that if you meet someone and they're an adult, that they've had some experiences in life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they've dated people, they've gone through a lot of things, you know what I mean? Like they've had their wild times, they've had their ups and downs. Like
it's just not where you... And you said it had been like a week earlier?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So how long did you end up dating the other chick?
We didn't end up really dating, just kind of hung out a few times and didn't go much of anywhere.
Okay, all right. That's not the worst thing.
Nothing wrong with that? Nope.
No.
Nothing wrong with that at all?
No. What made the situation awkward or cringeworthy? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Roger. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hola.
Hola. Okay, so I was invited by my company to go to an employee appreciation, to go to a Mariners baseball game in the skyboxes.
Oh, nice.
And, yeah, it was fun. It was a great time until I went and got a hot dog and put that mustard and relish and onions on it. And then I went and sat down in the second row, and right in front of me is the vice president of the company. I took a bite of the hot dog, and for some reason that the spices or something just affected me, and I sneezed everything that was in my mouth all over the back of the vice president's head.
Oh, no! What is the vice president's reaction?
He just stood up, wiped the top of his head, looked at all the chewed up hot dog and bun and everything in there, and just looked at me and shook his head and walked away. Needless to say, I didn't get invited to any more Employee Appreciation Days.
Oh, man.
So you didn't get drunk or anything. You literally just sneezed the hot dog out.
Yeah, I took a bite of the hot dog, and the spices in the mustard or in the relish or something just affected my sneeze reflex, and I couldn't cover my mouth in time, and I just sneezed everything in my mouth all over the back of his head.
Maybe just sneeze. I mean, relish isn't too spicy.
It's not, but hey, man, when you got to sneeze, you sneeze. I will say this. I've sneezed once with food in my mouth, and luckily it had a family, well, not luckily for them, but it had a family member across the table. It wasn't Thanksgiving, but there's a bunch of people there for whatever reason. But it's the same thing. Like, I did not feel the sneeze coming on. I'm just chewing food. It's just, it is impossible to sneeze the food in your mouth and not blow food out of your mouth.
I mean, look, even if you know you're going to sneeze and you're sitting at home by yourself eating, it's still gross when you actually sneeze with food in your mouth.
It is, but normally if you have the warning, at least I can do it like at a napkin or something.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was 9th grade. We're taking a final exam. It is dead silent in the class. And there's a kid like 2 rows in front of me. He had the sniffles, right? And this is one of those class, don't say anything, nothing. He sneezes. And no one's really looking, but I realized his hand looked like he was holding a jellyfish. And he's like looking, trying to find some way to wipe it off. The teacher, again, has no interest in hearing anything. And I remember finally, after like 2 minutes, and now I'm stopped doing the test. I'm just wondering, what is he going to do with this? And you can tell he's kind of distressed. And finally, just wiped it on the pants. And I wanted to tell him, you should have just started there, man. You know you have nothing to wipe it on your pants. That's like the other job of pants, right? Go to the bathroom, those crappy air dryers don't work. You walk out, you dry it on your pants.
Yeah. I mean, right, that's why you got to tell kids and sometimes yourself, don't wipe it on your pants.
But we lie to kids. You know, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What did you just wipe on your pants? I saw you sneeze. Did you wipe that on your pants? Like, yeah. And I'm thinking, I would do the same thing. But you got to say something.
You know what I do it the most is cooking.
What's that?
Like if I'm chopping stuff up and like you eat a little something or you're like flipping, you're like, let's take a little pinch of this. It's like, right, that's why real cooks and chefs wear aprons, number one, for spillage, or number two, so you have something to wipe. I always end up doing this move.
Oh, you go for the back?
Yeah. By the way, was there something weird about the way that guy kept saying hot dog?
Hot dog.
Yeah, I thought so. So it's not just me then.
A couple weeks ago.
And then he's like, the spices of the hot dog.
Yeah.
From mustard and relish. Like, no, you're creepy. You were getting thrown out of that box either way.
Jesus. A couple weeks ago, I'm driving into work, and I'm coming down 5th, and 5th is divided by the monorail at this point. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's 2 lanes on the left, and there's one lane on the right. I am in the middle lane. Okay,
all right.
The woman in front of me, she is. I can tell because I've been behind her a couple lights.
All right,
she's a smoke show, right? I mean, she's
all right.
So I decide that at the next light, I'm going to pull around to the left. So that when we stop, I can get a load of this girl. And I look at her, and she's got her hand out of the window, you know?
Okay.
And I think she's smoking a cigarette. So I pull up to the red light, okay? And I look over to her, and she's got her hand out the window, and she's trying to flick this thing.
Oh, no.
Off of her thumb, right? And she keeps flicking and flicking and flicking.
She got a sticky booger.
And I looked over at her, and she made eye contact with me and immediately put her hand back and rolled up the window. No. There's only one thing you're doing if you're flicking your finger
and over
out the window. You got a big sticky booger on there, and it's not coming off. And I mean, she was smoke show, but I still looked over, and she gave me this look like, oh God! And then she rolled up her window. I was like, did she think I was a crit? No, she knew that I knew about the booger.
Because that's the only movement you do. That's the only time you make that repeated movement.
You got a
booger on your finger.
I mean, hot chicks have boogers too.
I know. Still not a deal breaker.
At first, I thought she was smoking, but I didn't see it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, you're flicking, because it's the only time you do that.
You should have told her. I thought you were smoking a cigarette. I was going to ask for a light and realize it was a booger.
You need to do that like McConaughey and roll it in your finger.
I mean, I think that's uncomfortable for both of you.
It's worse for her.
You're just pulling up to get a look at her, and then she's flicking boogers.
Trying to flick a booger out.
I was like, maybe you guys deserve each other.
What made the situation awkward or cringeworthy? 206-421-ROCK.
They've been married ever since.
I love you. I love you, Booger Flipper.
Hey, he was in his car creeping. I was flipping boogers.
How'd you guys meet each other?
Yeah, she's flicking a booger and I'm creeping up on her. Perfect. Hello, John. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Okay, so when I was about 13, I was in the bathroom, sitting on the toilet, doing a little Bop the Bishop, and I leaned back a little too hard, and I snapped the back of the toilet, and it was really loud, and water started going everywhere, and next thing I know, my mom's at the door, banging on the door, like, oh my God, are you okay? What was that noise? And I'm freaking out because water's going everywhere. And to make me panic even more, I have this wad of tissue paper that I can't just, like, throw in the bin. Toilet don't flush. So I end up stuffing it in the bathroom towels, opening the door and making some excuse. And it was just super awkward because she knew, my dad knew. He told my cousins, they called me Fist of Fury for the next 4 years.
How did they know? Was it because it did not stink, but you'd been in there for a while?
Yeah, basically. And my dad was like, you were not leaning back. That defies the laws of physics of crapping.
He called you out like that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You were into masturbating, weren't you? Because if you were pooping, you wouldn't lean back. Nobody leans back when they poop.
So you basically broke the backside of the toilet completely off the pedestal?
Yeah. I totally snapped it. And it was just, I really didn't want to be standing there having that conversation with my mom. Like, yeah, it was just crazy.
Did you still masturbate with such vigor?
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're going to go all in. You know what I mean? Take care of yourself. You deserve it.
Oh, yeah. It was great.
God, it is awkward if something goes wrong because you were masturbating. And it doesn't matter what age you are. You know what I mean? You could be 45, you could be 30. You just get mortified at 15 because you don't think your parents know what's going on. They know what's going on.
Absolutely. They were there.
Yeah, there's no way they don't.
What made the situation awkward or cringeworthy? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Steven. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
All right. So this just happened, and it was so ironic when you guys were saying about cringeworthy and all of that. So at work, we all know that work can have its own politics and so forth inside the office.
Sure.
So I work in a hospital. That's what I'll say. So I have a patient come in. They want to talk to their team. No worries. Well, now I have to message this nurse. This nurse is probably one of the worst nurses ever, who doesn't want to do their job. They hate helping the patients, just everything. So I spend about 15 minutes going back and forth with this nurse just to come out and see their patient. Well, by the end of this conversation, it ends with, fine, that's okay. I'm going to take it to leadership. No worries. You have a great day. I'm so sorry to bother you. Just very passively aggressive. So I go and crap talk her to everything, to the leadership, making her the worst person ever. And who do I see today, right as I'm about to leave, and I need to go check to my other nurse? I see her standing right there, mean mugging me as I come down the hallway.
So does she know that you were talking smack on her?
I got that vibe. So when I go up and I've got to talk to this other nurse, I'm like, hey, and I try to address the nurse. She's staring at me for like that hot 5 seconds before she just whips around and walks down the hallway. And I'm like, oh, that was...
Well, it's on her.
And then the other nurse like, well, what was that about? Okay.
But isn't it generally speaking, if you go to the boss about someone, like if the boss addresses that person, you don't say, Miles would say, you know what I mean? You'd say, it's come to our attention. Or some coworkers have said.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
I would hope.
Unless they don't like you, too.
I think the sucky thing is you got a nurse working who doesn't want to take care of patients. You know what I mean? I just assume that if you have one of those kinds of jobs that, you're doing it because you have a passion for that.
I understand you get burned out, right? And there's some jobs I get that people have that they don't love. But the amount of time it takes to go through nursing and understand what you have to understand about biology, anatomy, right? Like, it's not a job like that you get at a restaurant because they're hiring. Like, you have to know what you're doing. But certainly, the source of that, you hope, is that you want to help people, right? Because even when you hear doctors, you're like, it could be for money, it could just be scientific interest, whatever, it doesn't matter, because you barely interact with your doctor. You interact with the nurses, right? So I hope deep down, even if they hate me personally, overall, they want to help people. Right? It's like teachers that hate kids. You know, I understand.
Yeah.
If you've been teaching for 30 years, I get it. I'd be burned out. But there are teachers like, I've been teaching for 2 years. I just don't like kids. And I'm like, but you didn't get into teaching for the money because they don't really pay well, right?
Oh, God.
And you're surrounded by children. Like, you know what the job is.
Yes.
If you don't like kids, this is the worst job you could possibly have.
Golly, man. I'm thinking of one. This was probably a year and a half ago, before the pandemic started.
All right.
Okay? One of the bars that I frequent in Fremont, there's a group of regulars of older people in Fremont who basically, they will go out earlier to avoid the riffraff on Saturday, Friday. Like, I'm used to the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock drinkers who call it a day, go to the grocery store at 5 and go home, because typically college kids would come in, they take over, everything becomes a dance club, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's this one guy I know pretty well, and he was talking about the fact, this was way before that he was interested in adopting a dog. And, you know, he would show me pictures, and I'm going to go pick him up, and blah, 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 blah. All right. So he goes and he gets this dog. It's a very specific type of dog. I'm not going to give it away. You know, I don't want, in case, because
Did he specifically want that kind of dog?
Exactly. That was the dog that he wanted to get. So he finally found someone where there was a rescue, and he went up and got this dog. Now, when he got the dog, he would bring the dog into the bar. And this dog was an older dog, and it was definitely, you know, it's seen better days, so to speak. You know, one eye looked like it was blind, kind of had that, you know, that haze in it. You know, the dog was a little bit heavier. It looked matty. You know what I mean? That
dog, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I don't see this guy for a while. About 3 months later, I see him again, and he's with his dog.
Okay, same dog.
And I'm like, hey, yeah, exactly. And I was like, you know what, man? Try not to say his name. You have really done a great job with that dog, man. When you first got him, he was all mangy and was heavy and crap and looked like hell and all this stuff. And he's like, no. And Buxby it's not the same dog. On a hike, walking the dog by a river. The dog jumped in the river. I never could find him again. So I had to go and get a different dog. So, like, within a month and a half of having this dog, he went on a hike with the dog.
That's it?
The dog jumped in the river.
Oh, my God.
And was never seen or heard from again. So this was a different dog that he had rescued after that.
And you're trying to pay a compliment
it was the
that
same
it looks
type,
so much better.
It was the same type of dog that he had before. But it did look better. Must have been younger. But I was just complimenting him on the fact, like, you did take this dog in and took care of it. You know what I'm saying? And he's like,
no, it's a different dog.
But you can see the sadness on his face. You know what I mean? Like,
well, especially because you're saying how bad the dog looked before.
Well, not only that, but, you know, like, he was walking the dog off leash in the woods along a riverbank, and the dog got curious, and now the dog just disappeared. You know what I mean? So, like, typically, even if I'm walking the dog in the woods on a hike, dog's still on a leash just in case.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of people on the trails. You know what I mean? I know that people have dogs that are well behaved. That I just didn't have that type of dog. It would tear off in the woods, and I have to go find the damn thing. So he was just walking on the river, man. The river was high. Dog went in there for something, get a drink or something. Damn dog's gone.
How bad did you say the dog looked originally?
I didn't say the dog looked bad. I was like, you have done a really good job.
Which means
because that dog looked, you know, it was fat. It looked like its eye was all screwed up. It's all mangy. I was like, God, I almost said his name again. You really have done a good job taking care of this dog, man. He's like, it's not the same dog. And then I could see, like, the sadness in his face. And he told me the story, and I was just like, oh, God, that's horrible. Well, at least you got a new dog now.
Yeah.
And he looks better. You know what I mean?
Did a great job because he looked so bad before.
Same kind of dogs Jay has. So, you know, like you could, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. They're small.
They all look the same kind of?
Yeah.
I mean, they do, right?
I'm sorry, man. I'm just envisioning you after a couple beers in there like, oh, hell. Great job, man. That dog used to be fat and had that weird eye. Great job.
Man.
That dog's dead. Sorry.
Yeah, my bad.
And then he told me how it happened. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Was the dog running away from him?
Oh, God.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Find the gifts Dad craves at Lowe's. Right now, you can save on select Skill Power Core 12 tools that feature 25% longer runtime and have patented cooling technology. Save $10 off the Skill Power Core 12 brushless drill driver kit, now just $59.98. Or upgrade Dad's toolbox and save $30 on the 5-tool brushless combo kit, now just $169. There's nothing sweeter than Father's Day at Lowe's. Offer valid 6/9 through 6/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Everything is better electrified. Like the guitar, toothbrushes, or cars. And Hyundai has a wide range of electrified vehicles, including the first ever Tucson and Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. You can use electric when you want it or gas when you need it. It's your journey. Evolve it beyond the pump in the 2022 Tucson or Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer or learn more at HyundaiUSA.com. Only available in select states. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
99.9 KISW. The men's room is in progress.
Coming on the return of Who Sucks Less right after emails on our question, what made the situation awkward or cringeworthy? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Rachel. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So one of my greatest accomplishments, I would say, is graduating summa cum laude from a well-known university in Seattle as a single mom.
Nice.
And I requested and got permission, as the first time ever, for my 3-year-old son to accompany me during the ivy cutting ceremony preceding the graduation. So it was big pomp and circumstance. Everybody's in cap and gown, and everybody loved that he was in a tux walking with me. And he behaved so well during the whole ceremony. And at the end, he wanted to be held. And so I was holding him during the benediction while everybody is praying. And he started wriggling, and I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And at the top of his lungs, he yells, my penis! My penis is hurting!
Oh, no.
Okay. What was wrong with his penis? Was it caught in, like, the pants or something?
Yeah, it was just the way that I was holding him. It needed to be adjusted.
Aha, yeah. Well, at least he knew what the right thing to say.
My penis is hurting. And I'm assuming everyone laughed, I hope?
Well, everybody was praying, so there wasn't too much laughter, but I was in the back row, and the 2 rows of women that were in front of me, all of them just, like, keeled over forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, my worst one was, my kid was about 3 years old as well, and I had my older daughter was 4.5, 5 years old. Mm-hmm. Lived in this apartment complex in Baltimore that had a pool directly in front of my apartment. All right. My older daughter, she had to go to the bathroom. She's wet. She's in her bathing suit. She's also got a swimming pool up on, all that stuff.
That's a pain.
So I drag her ass in the apartment. I put my other kid, on the stool or on the chair, like just lay here for a minute.
Yeah.
The sister used the bathroom, blah, 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 blah. That process takes like 10, 12 minutes. It takes forever. It's hard to get a wet bathing suit back on.
And kids don't help.
Yeah, exactly. Got to put a new dry, pull up on, the whole deal. So this is quite the process. So by the time I finally get her back out, my younger daughter, now we're going to get in the pool again. She's like, and of course, like anything that her sister does, she has to do too. Right. This is the stage of the game. So the younger daughter says, Daddy, I have to pee too. And I said, look, kid. I said, and there's all the chairs are packed with parents. I had a parent watching her as I took my daughter in. The place is packed. And I said, listen, kid. I said, just pee in the pool. I said, it doesn't matter. It's easier. Just pee in the pool. She goes, Daddy, I'm not going to pee in the pool. No. And I'm like, and all of a sudden, like all these eyes of women who are in the apartment complex who live there are just glaring at me. And I'm like, well, let's go inside and you could use the bathroom.
They just said, like, that's right, you don't. I taught you well.
Daddy, I'm not going to pee in the pool. I was like, oh, no. Oh, no.
That's the thing with kids, man. There's certain things that they absolutely tell the truth about, even though you tell them, look, lie, right? We're going to go to this place, and if you're 2 or younger, I don't have to pay for your ass. So when they ask, just say I'm 2. All you got to do is say I'm 2. They can say, how old are you? Just say I'm 2. You got it? I got it. They ask you, what are you going to say? I'm 2. You get up there, and how old's your daughter? Like 3. Oh, I'm like, God damn it, man. Jesus.
Yeah.
One thing. Just say one thing. Just lie and say you're 2, but they won't do it. My daughter, when we were younger, it was awkward, but people figured it out. So she had a hard time to the letter L. And she's a little kid, but when they were little, we tried to teach them to tell time on an analog clock. So we have an analog clock in the living room. And they started figuring it out. But we take her to Home Depot, and they have this giant-ass clock on the wall. And we walk in, and my daughter looks at it, and the first words out of her mouth, Daddy, look at the huge clock without the L in it. Oh, no. Everybody turns around, and I start pointing at the clock like, she means the clock. And people started laughing, but I'm like, no. The clock, that is what she's talking about. But hearing those words out of your kid's mouth, and it's not what she meant. My son the other day is bouncing a balloon back and forth in his hands. And he counts how many times he can hit it back and forth. 1,173, by the way, was the final count. But he says he wants me to watch. So he goes, hey, Dad, can you come watch me play with myself? And I just looked at my wife and said, I'm not going to say anything. I'll explain it to him like, hey, man, just phrase it different next time. Yeah. It doesn't mean what you think it means.
Dude, I told you before, I got in a car. Well, I was going to summer school, but the woman down the street, right, she had smaller children, but she would, like, pick up basically the kids in school that had to go to summer school in the neighborhood and would drop us off there, right? So I get in the car. I don't know what age the little kid is, but I get in, and he goes, you have a penis. And, like, tapped me, and I'm just like, what? She's like, he's going over the difference. And he's like, my mom doesn't have a penis.
Kids get real excited to learn that.
So, I mean, I'm just as embarrassed as the mom. Like, this whole thing is incredibly awkward.
I had a little girl ask me.
Also, I don't know that I've ever heard anybody say this excited. You have a penis.
You just learned. Yeah. I had a girl ask me about a year ago. She said, why are your nipples black? These are the first words she said to me. And it's because it matches better. She's like, okay. Easy enough answer, but I'm just like, these are the opening words.
Is this a kid in a pool or something?
No, she had spent the night at the house with a bunch of other kids, all right? So she's the younger sibling of my kid's friend. Very nice girl, whatever. So whatever, she can spend the night. She had climbed in bed and was watching TV in the room, so I wake up like 7:30 in the morning. I see her there, and I go, hey, Fee. She goes, hey, why are your nipples black? Like, this is not how I want to start my day.
Why are they black?
I thought her matches.
Oh, I got you. What made the situation awkward or cringeworthy? 206-421-ROCK.
She wanted to know.
Where I grew up, right, PG Plaza, my cousin was in there, and she was a little kid. And the Santas, this is a predominantly black area. So the Santas they sold there were black.
Sure.
She, of course, loudly, why is Santa black? Like, what? We don't have to be, like, it's not bad. But, like, she's a little kid, so it's not time to talk about what Santa is or isn't.
They were talking about the shortage of mall Santas, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I would do it. I just don't think I'm going to get hired.
You got the beard.
You know what I mean? They'd be like, yeah, man, it's we just can't do it. And why? Why can't I be a mall Santa? Like,
money's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
For real?
Oh, yeah. There's a couple of people, like, there's a pro level of this, like the Macy's Santa or somebody like
what
this.
What separates him,
well, what I'm saying is, I know that what I'm saying is there are some big-time Santas
maybe the Nordstrom Santa. I could see him doing it, but I can't imagine there's a ton of money. Wait a minute. My dad used to do this because he couldn't keep a job. Like,
your dad was a Santa.
Oh, yeah.
Was this before,
Before what?
Did you get any presents out of the deal?
Oh, no. He was very good at that stuff.
Okay.
Really?
He was a mall Santa, and then when I was in high school, right, he was those kind of in-between jobs. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Either way. But he did the voice for a giant bear in a mall.
Really?
Right, like around Christmas, Montgomery Mall had this giant bear, and it's the same thing. Like, kids would walk up, and there was just a short-circuit TV in the back.
Okay.
So the bear would just talk to the kids.
So he's doing it real time.
So he's seeing the TV. So he's talking to the kids from another.
Yeah, that one was actually, I remember being a teenager. That one was pretty cool just because little kids just lose their mind. When a giant bear is like, hello.
Mm-hmm. I would lose my mind as well.
Yeah, but as an adult, you can look at that bear and recognize it's a massive robot.
High when I go to the mall. I don't know about you, but I need to get high to tolerate it. So this would be great.
That would be funny if you just stood there like, I don't know what's up with you, bear.
What made the situation awkward or cringeworthy? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Lisa. Welcome to the men's room. Hello, Lisa.
Lisa. Lisa.
We'll check back with Lisa. Hello, Ron. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, guys.
Hola.
All right. So, I was 21 years old back in 83. Okay. So, I moved in with my girlfriend and her parents. Okay. So, I got to stay in the room right next to hers downstairs. Well, that lasted one night, So, we were doing our thing, making some whoopee, and all of a sudden, her mom, she just loved me, and her mom opened up the door and put her hand over her mouth and said, "Oh my God, that's so cute! Oh my God!" And I'm going, "Get the hell out of here!"
She's commenting that it's cute.
She said, "Oh, that's so beautiful and cute," and I'm just, I didn't miss a beat, but I said, "Just get out of here, man!" And so she shut the door, and as time goes on, I'm doing it again, and I could hear her outside because she had the Venetian door, with the slats in the door. So I could hear everything, and I could hear her outside the door just going, "Oh, that's so beautiful! Oh my God!"
Oh my God, that would be weird. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
No, I don't.
I don't want to know. That's why I got off Instagram. I don't want to know.
Yeah,
do not want to know.
Your kids are at that age, man.
What made the situation awkward or cringeworthy? 206-421-ROCK. That was another weird one. Took my daughter to a Sounders match.
Mm-hmm.
So she's 16 years old or whatever.
All right.
So I think at the time, maybe, it wasn't that I was necessarily recognized. I think I wore the jersey that we got that the Sounders hooked us up with.
Yeah.
So my name's on the back of the damn thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And someone goes like, "Montgomery, nice work." And I'm like, "She's 16 years old. It's my daughter."
Oh, we thought you were dating her?
Oh, yeah. It's like, dude, my daughter looked at me like, oh, God. And I'm like, I agree.
I guarantee she remembers that.
I agree with you. Montgomery, nice work. Dude, it's my 16-year-old daughter.
Jesus, man.
God almighty.
How old was the guy that yelled this?
I don't know. She was the reason I got off Instagram, though.
Yeah. From what you've told me, I would get off, too.
Ask your wife.
I'm sure she knows.
What made the situation awkward or cringeworthy? 206-421-ROCK. I guarantee she does.
Hello, Lisa. Nope. No, Lisa. All right.
What's our ad handle, Miles? I'm kidding. Don't say that. I'm kidding.
I mean, I'll give it to you.
No.
I wouldn't even do that. Hello, Troy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, hola.
Hola.
So, this is quite a few years ago. But anyway, my daughter was probably 5 or 6, and we got all done with dinner, watching TV and whatnot, and I thought I was going to be funny, and I said, "Hey, sweetheart, come here." And I said, "Pull my finger." And so she pulled my finger, of course, and you know what happens, and she got this horrid look on her face, but then it kind of clicked, and she's like, "Well, I'm going to pull your finger again." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's enough." So anyway, I don't know, 6 months go by. I come home, and my wife is having a candle party. So the whole house is filled with women, and they're all looking at candles and everything. And of course, what do you think my daughter wants to do? She comes up and she goes, Dad, I'm going to pull your finger and you make that funny noise again, okay?" And I'm like, no, that's all right, sweetheart. We don't need to show the ladies. She goes, "No, come on." She's reaching, trying to grab my hand. Anyway, so that was my cringeworthy story.
That's all right.
Did you blow one out?
That's a proud moment in parenting.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look, and men and women definitely feel differently about anything fart related.
That was always my grandfather's move.
Oh, pull my finger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he would seek me out, you know what I mean, in front of my grandmother, just to be like, "Hey, pull my finger."
I feel like that was a bigger deal back in the day.
It was.
I also think it's different when people seem to enjoy it more if they're the grandfather or the uncle as opposed to being the direct parent.
Yes.
No, I enjoy it. If I ask my son to pull he's quick about it. My daughter, she's like, "I know what you got to do. I don't want to do it." So we both know what I'm going to do. But I'm not going to leave you alone until you pull it. So she very begrudgingly just gives a little pull, and I'll blow it out. And she's disgusted and embarrassed and walks away. But I enjoy it, man.
Why the hell not? What made the situation awkward or cringeworthy? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Allison. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hola.
Hola. Okay, so long story short, I was like 19 or 20. It was my first boyfriend. We were going to his parents' house for dinner, and we got a little bit warm and fuzzy, and we were making out in the car, like in the driveway. And then we were like, okay, we're late. We got to go in. And I went in, and I had no idea, but my bra was like hanging out of my shirt, and no one said anything. And then the or the boyfriend's dad was just kind of like head down, kind of pointing his finger and just like, I think you need to fix something there.
How mortified were you? How old were you?
Oh my gosh, I was like 19 or 20. I was mortified. I was so embarrassed. I like got right up and went to the bathroom and.
Is that the first time? Is that the first time you'd met them?
No, I had met him before.
But still.
Yeah, when it's that obvious.
Because, like, that is the age where you don't want the other parents to know what you guys are doing, because if they know, you're afraid that this might somehow come to an end.
And you also think they don't know.
Right.
They know, but they don't want verification.
And I'm trying to make a good impression, you know? I like their son, and it's just like, I'm just so embarrassed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's how it goes, man. I mean, look, it's, like I said, when my daughter starts dating, she'll look at the guy like, look, I don't like you, even if you're a good guy. And you know why I don't. Because even if you think she's wonderful and funny and all the crap you're going to say, I also know why you're here. And that is our issue. My son is the exact opposite. Like, dude, I know why you're dating this chick. I understand you like her. But look, if you meet her dad, he ain't going to like it because he already knows your game. Right? Just so you know.
Because that was his game.
Right. And every guy's game before that.
What made the situation awkward or cringeworthy? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Wendy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola,
Hola.
So, when I was probably before kindergarten age, I was in the bathroom, and I was going to the bathroom, and all of a sudden, the door opened, so I jumped behind it because I was scared. So was my dad. Well, obviously, my mom and dad were having sex.
Oh.
Came in to clean himself up, and he didn't realize I was there, and the door shut, and I turned and looked at him, and I said, Daddy, your tire's flat.
Your tire is flat.
Yes.
Do you remember his response?
He was so mortified, he, grabbed the towel and ran out of the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Very modest guy.
Well, yeah, and also his kid is there. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
I don't think it's that you saw him nude. I think it's because he knows you just watched him have sex. I don't think that's modesty as much as, oh, God, we just ruined our kid's life.
Still to come, the return of Who Sucks Less right after emails on our question, what made the situation awkward or cringeworthy? You are listening to The Men's Room.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
Visit Lowe's and take on the Pro Brand Challenge with the new Flex Stacked Lithium battery. More power, longer battery life, and faster charging. Plus, it's compatible with all Flex 24-volt power tools. Right now, the more Flex 24-volt tools you buy, the more you'll save. Get up to $150 off today. Stop by or visit us online and see Flex, exclusively at Lowe's. Dial 519-276. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusive versus National Home Centers for Flex 24-volt. U.S. only.
The future will be amazing, and that's all well and good. But what about today? You can feel the rush of a 400-horsepower Nissan Z, or climb to new heights in the all-terrain Nissan Frontier. Light up the road in the all-electric Nissan Ariya that feels like a sci-fi dream come true. The future will be great, but today is made for thrill. All you have to do is get in a Nissan and drive. 2023 Ariya and Z not yet available for purchase. Expected availability is this spring for 2023 Z and this fall for 2023 Ariya.